We have a new Ethereum all-time high on the USD pair. Doesn't quite look that way yet on the BTC, but we're getting there. We are getting there. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a very special update on Ethereum. I'm going to be looking at the high-term timeframe analysis, where we could see this going in the future, and will we see a $10,000 Ethereum by the end of this year? I will give you my thoughts on that, and yeah, let's get right into it. So I want to start with the serious stuff. So this is a Bitcoin pair. This is what I use more than the USD pair on Ethereum. So it's very nice that Ethereum is moving up, but we have to be aware that Bitcoin has been in a bull run for the past year, and that a lot of Ethereum's gains has been because of Bitcoin. So what are we seeing here? This is the chart that you really have to be aware of, and this is where you can get the best support and resistance from. So just having a look up here, very, very simple. I will clean this up in a minute. We have had a really nice, just gradual stepping up on Ethereum. So what does it do? We have its lows down here. You come back, it tests these lows, it moves up. What does it do after that? It creates a support area. We come back, we test into this support and move up again. After its next big move up, it creates a new support. It comes back down, it tests this support, it goes through, shakes everyone out, and then moves up again. Yet again, we have a support level here, it comes down, tests the support, and we are heading up again. So this pattern just keeps repeating. It's been so nice to trade. Every single time, just a resistance into support, flip it onto the next level, every time. So yeah, Ethereum's just been a joy to trade for this whole year. I won't go through any of the trades that I've done. There is no need for that. We are looking to the future now. So Ethereum, as we are, on the Bitcoin pair, has just broken this key resistance here. Now this monthly level, so let's flip this to a monthly chart and we can have a look at things. Why was this area so important? So for me, this is the last major resistance on the chart that takes us out of this accumulation zone. So everything here, the last market cycle, we all know what was happening in 2017, 2018. Then we go into bear market. We go through a very long period of consolidation. And after that, we start to crawl our way back up. Now, this is a very, very important level. This will be an important level to see where things can close at the end of the month, because I think that will determine whether we see Ethereum going much higher or whether we see a pullback onto our nearest support, which is on the chart here. So yes, Ethereum has made new all-time highs. Yes, it looks very good, but it does still have to close the monthly above 0.0437 sats Bitcoin, roughly, in order for me to be looking for further targets on the macro. Okay, so that is that. This is a level it's been working at for quite a while, and yeah, we are really giving it a good go now. So where could we see Ethereum going next? Let's just have a look on the USD pair, and currently we are sat at $2,500, over $2,500, so almost $2,600. Okay, and this is through just breaking this resistance level. The next major resistance for me, we're looking up at this monthly. So this is just a series of monthly charts, all of which have been really nice support and resistance. We're looking here. So we have a monthly level here at 0.0568. And on top of that, we have this weekly order block that is sat in the middle. So what does this mean? This is when price has been coming down. It came back to this monthly because this was already set. it had a period of indecision here. So this is a period of volume where price is moving sideways, and then finally it broke through. So after this indecision that it had on the way down, you would expect there to be indecision again on the way back up. Now, that could either lead to a correction, which brings us back down, or you can do like it did here, consolidate for a week or so, and then you're looking higher. So what does that give us? That is, from this point, we are looking at another 20 to 25% move from here today. So that would put Ethereum sitting, what, $3,000 if Ethereum remains at the same price roughly that it is now. I think a lot of this will depend on Bitcoin as well, whether it can continue ranging, whether Bitcoin does go into a more long-term consolidation, or whether Bitcoin carries on like it has been most of the year and just going up like we've seen from a lot of the assets here. So yeah, we have a major level of resistance here. After that, we go back onto our monthly chart and we have the top of this resistance. So we have another monthly at 0.0772 Bitcoin. Again, this will be very important, and this is where I think if we're going to see a more macro top on Ethereum, this could be where we might see that happen. Clearly there are bigger targets as well, but we would be looking at these levels for more major corrections like we've had in the past. So we come up into these monthly areas, we have a 45% correction. We come up into the next monthly and we have a 35% correction. Even back here, we come up into these monthlies, so up here, and we have a 30% correction. So let's say between 30 to 40% corrections each time it comes up to one of these major levels. Now, if we're looking at a 30% correction from here, that really nicely takes us back into this key area of support here. So that is one scenario. If we're looking at a 30% correction from up here, well, we're looking back at these levels, aren't we? You can even draw that down, and this might be a larger one. So you can see where we can get these continued move up, back test of support, move up again, back test of support. Ethereum doesn't move fast like a lot of other alts. It is one of those that it takes its time. It likes to get everyone out of the market before it's ready to move again. So yeah, those are the upside targets for me. And that is what you could say with, if we can get this in the next few weeks with Bitcoin being around the same area that it is now, we're looking at up to about $3,000. So yeah, I'd say on the Bitcoin chart, it's very clear where your support and resistance is, but that's not the only chart that you need to look at. So the other chart is, of course, the US dollar chart. I have been trading this as well. Here are levels on the US dollar chart. Here are some trades that have happened in the past. Now, clearly we're in price discovery, so a lot of these levels are no longer valid, but you have some nice things going on here that were all tradable. And it's been doing more or less the same thing. You can consolidate under a resistance, you break up, you come into a weekly support. In this case, you come back, perfectly backtest this weekly resistance into weekly support, into our previous all-time high, back into our monthly support. You get a consolidation there, and now it's blue sky breakout. Of course, if you're not talking about what has happened after that. So yeah, what can we be looking at, I'd say, for immediate targets on Ethereum, assuming that this will remain bullish. So let's take a look at a few things. So the first thing we can do, which I always like to do, is we take a look at our Fibonacci levels. So we can move on to a daily time frame here. And we can say what we have here is something along the lines of our last major low, which was down here. You could take a Fib extension, pull it to the last major high here, pull it back down to the low, and that gives us some levels. So that gives us a 1-to-1 around $2,950, which, if you're thinking Bitcoin chart, coming up towards this monthly, that is from here, a 20% move. If we can do this into our 1-to-1, that is, well, we've got a 14% move there. So you can see how the percentages line up fairly well. Clearly, a lot of the US dollar value will depend on Bitcoin at that time as well. But yeah, I'd say $3,000 is going to be a pretty big psychological resistance, at least as well. Now, looking on from there, we would obviously have some other levels. We would have our 1.618, which comes in up here, and you can keep extending that higher, and you can get some more extensions from there. It's also slightly more difficult to take this. This is just off of a local extension, but you can turn it onto the log scale, and we can really kind of look in at maybe what's going on more on the macro here as well. If you do look at this on the log scale, then to our 1-to-1, it gives us a 25% move up. Okay. So that's one thing we can do. Another thing we can look at will be our Fib expansions. So let's just take this. Again, we're just going to look local for this. We're not going to look too high term. We'll take this high to this low, and we will add our expansions onto this. So again, we have our, let's add our levels. We have immediate resistance, which could come in around 2,720. We have an area of resistance here at 2,930. What does that line up with? Remember, I was saying the 1-to-1 was at 2,950. We also have our $3,000 psychological support. So we're starting to build some confidence in this $3,000 area. The 1.618 is a strong level, and that will be one that we do have to be aware of. On top of that, it's really, yeah, I think it really depends on what the ETH BTC pair does, and of course what Bitcoin does. But if, and this is a big but, if we can hold above these highs, because it is always possible that we do come back down and this becomes resistance again. But if we do hold above these highs, then we are looking at a further 20% move to the upside, in my opinion. If we do not hold above these highs, then we would be looking down at 0.0436 as our support, and this would have to be major support. And if, again, we fail to hold that, and what I would be looking for is a monthly close here, because this is the monthly chart. And if we are going to be moving higher, then we do need to be closing above these levels. If we fail to do that, then really I'm looking back down towards 0.037. So that gives us our bullish scenario of an immediate 20% move higher within the next month. Or if we fail here and we do come back into this range of consolidation that has been with us since December 2017, then I think we're in for a few more months of consolidation, and I think price will come back down to 0.037. So those are my targets. Now, the big 10K, this is what a lot of people are looking at, and this is how I'm going to finish things off. The big 10K. So where would that be? We're looking at a 4x increase from where we are now in price, right? So this is Ethereum at 2,500. If we're going to get 10K, then we're looking at a 4x increase. Is that possible, assuming Bitcoin stays as it is and assuming patterns repeat themselves? So from where we are now, we don't really get there, even if Bitcoin goes to all-time, Ethereum goes to all-time high. It's giving us 163% increase in price. So what we'd be looking then at, well, $7,000 give or take, whatever. I'm can't do. Oh yeah, is that actually telling me? Yeah, yeah, give or take a little bit, around the $7,000 mark. Now, I still think that Bitcoin is in a bull market, and I think Bitcoin is going to go much higher as well. So in order for us to get to 10,000, we are going to need Bitcoin to go higher. We are going to need Ethereum to get back to its Bitcoin pair all-time highs. And we're going to need those two things to happen roughly the same time. Otherwise, if Bitcoin crashes, say at 50%, and Ethereum moves all the way up here, its US dollar value isn't going to do very much. If Bitcoin continues to pump and Ethereum does something like this, its US dollar isn't going to do very much. So what we need to see is probably two cycles here. So we're going to be looking at one, and this is what I think is going to happen over the next couple of months. We're going to be looking at one cycle, and this is our Ethereum alt cycle kind of thing, which brings us into this zone here. After that, I think we will see a correction of around 40%. And this will coincide with Bitcoin maybe having another run towards the end of the year, up towards these targets that everyone has in mind for Bitcoin. I'm not going to mention them now. You should really know what these higher term targets are for Bitcoin already. And we can't really be looking that far ahead when we're looking at the main asset. On Bitcoin, I always take it level by level. These alts you can be a bit more speculative in. They're a bit more fun. So yeah, let's say Ethereum over the next month or two can have a 25 to 60% increase in price, followed by a 30 to 40% correction. I think that would be really nice. And what that could then lead us to do is you come up to here and maybe you find a price between the 3 to 5K. You come back down, it remains roughly the same. And this will probably coincide with Bitcoin finding its macro high. Altcoins will be bleeding and Bitcoin may find a macro high here. Then if we do get a further reaction from Bitcoin, from Ethereum, that is when, let's say, Bitcoin is has another zero after its price at this stage. Let's assume. Then this will be much easier from a base point on Bitcoin for Ethereum to hit that 10K level. So yeah, I think it's entirely possible. I'm really just doing the 10K stuff because it's a bit of fun to think about, and I'm normally all about serious technical analysis, but yeah, you can enjoy yourself with these altcoins. They're doing really nicely. I'm very bullish on Ethereum. Fundamentally, it looks really good. So in the summer, it's going through its fork. We're going to see the fees massively reduce on Ethereum. We're going to see Ethereum 2.0 coming out. The network should get faster. The network should get smoother. The network should get much cheaper. And all of those fundamentally are really, really good things. So I'm going to leave it at that. It was just a chart really that I went through today and a bunch of rambling on from me. But yeah, that will be my prediction, I guess. For anyone who doesn't already know, I have a really nice Discord community where we all talk about lovely things. There's a lot of nice conversation going on within this Discord community. We're always sharing our charts, what we think is going to be happening on Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins. So we have our Bitcoin TA section here. We have our altcoin section here, which naturally right now is going to be quite dominated by Ethereum and other players in the market. Yeah, do keep an eye out over the course of the next few days. I'm going to be doing these on a lot of other alts as well. So we'll be looking at another favorite of mine. We'll be looking at Litecoin. We'll be looking at Cardano. We'll be looking at DOT. We'll look at VET. We'll look at anything else that I really want to go over. Please leave a comment in the down below if you would like me to cover any of these altcoins. And I guess as a bit of fun, on all of these altcoins, if I do these special videos, I will give like a price prediction of where we may be going. Cool, so I'm going to wrap it up there, and I hope to see you all in the Discord, and see you on the next video. Cheers, guys. Bye.